Hey everyone, we're going live talking about extra coverage. We got several different places we're going live at, so we're getting them hooked up. This is Mary Thomas, obviously, with Remax Professionals, and I want to thank you so much, Tracy, for joining me. Tracy
McLeod with First Centennial Title, and I'm really happy to be here.
This is so exciting, you guys. So we're going to be talking about title insurance and extra title and cover insurances. Is it really worth it or not? Also, I wanted just to say, if you have any questions coming up, type them in. We want to answer any questions you guys might have, but don't feel bad if you didn't get to make the live video right now. Afterwards, anytime you see this, type the questions and we will make sure to get you guys the answers you're looking for, because this is truly what we're trying to do. We want to make sure we're getting you the information that you need before you're at the signing table. I just love it that we were talking and you had so much information, and honestly, I had no idea, even though I bought and sold many homes before I was in real estate, what this extra title coverage was. And of course, when they say you do want to waive it or not, you're thinking, yes.
It's one less fee, right? You think one less fee.
If it's not mandatory, why would I go for it? But, talking to you and learning more about it over the years in the industry, I've realized, oh my God, because some of these things have come up. So can we start with what is title insurance and what is the extra coverage that we're going to be talking about today?
I'll just go over basic title insurance and then move into the extended policy. Basic title insurance, it would, if I closed a house today, I would be insured from this date back in time. Mm-hmm. And so it affords coverage up to that. If something happened tomorrow, I wouldn't have coverage. So this point back in time, and it has lots of different coverages, but the extended policy has coverages that can protect you with future things that may happen. And so when we're looking at a prelim, when you open your escrow, that is what turns into your policy. We're searching everything about the property. We're searching any kind of liens. We're searching the general index to make sure there's no defects or lawsuits or things that could affect your property. And we're also doing a full search on taxes to make sure there's no delinquencies or any special hidden tax somewhere. So when you get your prelim, it shows that you are free and clear and that you're going to be able to do what you want with your property. And that prelim is then turned into your policy. And the extended owner's policy is what they will ask you if you want to waive or keep at the table.
Yeah, and that's what we're really talking about today. So it's good to have a little history of what title insurance is and what it covers, because it is, if we're not doing this every day, really, it's something we don't really think about till we're at the table. And then there's so much things coming at us, and we're just trying to get through the transaction so we can get to our home or sell our home to get to a new place. So when they would see this, you're going to first see kind of a little bit about it in the prelim, a little bit about
snapshot in your prelim,
and then you're going to really have the decision at the signing table at close. You were saying there's 32 things that this extra title insurance covers, but would you say we need?
I would say that out of the 32, a lot of them probably, they have been an issue before, but they're not like a common issue that happens all the time. But there are a handful of ones that are things that happen all the time. Forgery is one. Unfortunately, it's one of our biggest claims that we have. And unfortunately, this world has a lot of deceitful people that do try to do forgery from, let's say, you sell your house, you've got the extended policy, or you buy your house, you got the extended policy. It's 2 years down the road. Somebody breaks into your mailbox, and there was a whole application for a HELOC to go against your property, which is a credit line. Mm-hmm. And that person fills it out, gets a fake ID, does everything, and closes and runs with the money. And you don't know about it till 3 or 4 months in, when you start getting these delinquencies and they're going to foreclose and they're going to do this because of lack of payment. With the extended owner's policy, you're going to have coverage for that. We're going to be able to step in. You have the peace of mind of taking that policy, calling that number and saying, help, this is what's happened, because this covers that type of thing. And then, like I said, unfortunately, it happens more than not.
Which is crazy. And I've talked to many people that I thought, yeah, this happens everywhere. It's happening right here, has happened to several of my clients, or people that I know. I didn't know about it till after the fact, and they didn't know what to do. But that is a sad fact. It's happening here. Not only is it identity theft, basically taking your line of credit on your home, but there's a couple other things that might be relevant, maybe not so drastic, but still very relevant. Can you tell me a little bit about lot lines and?
Yes. So you buy a property and you're living happily on your property, and somebody buys a property next to you and they build this beautiful barn, and it encroaches 8-10 feet onto your property.
Hi, Amanda. Thanks for watching.
So now you have this encroachment on your property. You don't really want to have a fight with your neighbor, but they're on your property line, and it does make the sellability of your property an issue, something that has to be taken care of. With this, you would call us and we would work on getting that fixed. Some people sell that portion, so they get several $1,000s for that portion, and they decide. Some people want it completely taken down and moved. So it's on a case-by-case basis, but yes, it covers that kind of thing. So, and also setbacks, which would be in a subdivision thing. There's a new home sales, everybody thinks it's new home, there can be nothing that's wrong. And that's the furthest from the truth, because there's a lot of things. There could be a lot of different liens and stuff against your property.
And not always on purpose.
No, not always on purpose. And I don't even think this was on purpose, but there was a encroachment that when the subdivision was done, so the subdivision's fence lines and setbacks were all done wrong, and the person bought their house and they wanted to build a casita in the back, but because the lot line and the encroachment, they weren't able to. Had they had this type of insurance, it would have afforded them some sort of coverage towards that to make that better in the subdivision violation and lot line.
Hey, girl. Hey, and again, if you guys have questions as we're going up and we're speaking and that brings up another question, type it in. This is what we're doing it for, to help out with any questions on extra title insurance. And we do appreciate you guys for typing in and joining us. There's a lot of fun things to know about this buying and selling process. The title insurance is just very intriguing to me. You mentioned it a little bit, but if any of these items were to happen, how would this get rectified? What would they do to start that process to tell you guys, hey, well, we didn't do this, help? How do we get help?
On your policy, it has a claims jacket on it, and it tells you exactly who to call. You could call us and we would get you to the same number, or you can call your escrow officer or whatever. But on that policy jacket that you receive after closing that shows your insurance, it tells you step by step who to call and what to do. And even if you're not sure, don't be afraid to call the claims department and have them look at it and see, because sometimes you'll be like, oh, I'm not sure I have coverage, or maybe I do have coverage. Yeah. We're there to help you. We're there to make sure that if you have the coverage, you get the coverage. So don't hesitate to call. And again, you can call your title company direct, and they are going to get you to a claims department where you can actually work forward to getting that cleared up, whatever the claim may be. Another thing that happens is easement by prescription. Oh. And that's a pretty interesting one. And this has, you have coverage in both ways. You have coverage if there was an open, notoriously used easement, and it was this and back in time, you have coverage. But what really is interesting, especially on the larger parcels, you close, and now let's say horseback riders cut across the edge of your, you have 20 acres, the edge of your property, and they openly and notoriously do this for 7 years. That is really called an easement by prescription. Does that mean that they get that easement? It depends on how the court rules, because a court will rule an easement by prescription, each one on its own merit. But the point is, if there's an issue, and there was one particular instance that stands out to me that was down in Pleasant Valley. These people bought this property, and they were not trying to be mean or bad people, but people kept riding across the corner, and they were afraid somebody was going to get hurt on their property and they were going to get sued. So they fenced it off. and that caused a big uproar. So
I'm sure.
it didn't go over very well.
I don't like to be cut.
And anyhow, they ended up working out everything and finding a solution on that. But easement by prescription is something that is a post. So if something happens after the fact and there's an easement that is all of a sudden done on your property that you didn't catch, you're going to have that kind of coverage. So that is another thing that is really quite nice about it.
There's a lot of things that it does cover, but like we said, there's only about 2 or 3. These are kind of the biggest ones that come up. In order to have this extra coverage, God, I don't know. Are we nervous? How much does this cost?
It's really minimal, and title insurance, unlike other insurance where you pay it monthly or yearly or whatever, it's a one-time fee. So you would pay 10% of what the owner's policy was. So again, if that was $700, you'd pay $70 more. I would say it's the best money you could spend, and whether I'm in the industry or I retire from the industry, which someday I will, I would always get extended coverage on my property.
There you go. Is it worth it or not? It's really up to you guys, of course. But it's 10% on your title coverage, a one-time fee to help with a lot of issues. And I've come across the fence one in my dealings in the past on my own personal property. So that was kind of a headache, but it was rectified. So I enjoyed that.
Another thing to remember at the table, which I forgot to point out, the reason why people will waive it is because there's a lender's policy when you get the loan, and there's this, that, and the other. So people feel like, oh, we already have coverage. The lender's policy only takes care of the lender. If something were to go wrong with the property, it ensures that they're going to get their money back that they've lent to you. Doesn't ensure that you're going to get any money whatsoever from it.
They want their money back.
They want their money back if something happens. So be sure that at the very least you have your owner's policy, which is customarily, but not always, paid by the seller. But if you want these things that could happen after the fact, I would pay that 10% more.
So you have your normal title coverage, which is from anything before you purchase the property back. Your extra is once you purchase the property forward, and your lender's policy is for the lender, which they need some coverage too.
Yeah. Or they won't give you the loan. They're funny that way.
Well, I wouldn't either, but I don't know. Forgiveness of the loan would be okay. So it doesn't cost very much, and there's a lot of benefits to it. We're going to be doing this once a month, you guys. So if this covered all the questions of the extended coverage for you on the title coverage there, wonderful. If not, type those questions in. And then also let us know what kind of questions that you've come up in the past that you would have for the title companies to actually address. A lot of times it's just, and we're signing and we're done and we got it and we closed, we got the keys. And so it is actually a very exciting time, hectic time. You guys put a lot of ease at the signing table, which is really nice. And we appreciate that. But if there's anything that you would like to know about title, insurance, some of their fees, what all is it that we can answer for you? This is what we're here for. Again, we're going to go live once a month. So we're going to gather your questions, and we're here to make sure we get those answers to you. Thank you, Tracy, for doing this with me, going live.
It's been so much fun.
And you can call us anytime. If they needed to reach out and ask more questions direct, how would they get a hold of you?
You could get a hold of me at 775-230-0421, 775-230-0421, or Tracy, Tracy, at firstcentennial.com, all spelled out.
And this has just popped in my head. If they've already bought their home, they've already closed, they possibly waived it, can they add it now?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, I thought that was the answer. Oh, okay. Okay, we can't. So we're going to help you, save you from the future. If you want that, make sure at the signing table when it says option, do you want to waive or not? Think about it and do what's best for you. As always, this is Mary Thomas with RE/MAX Professionals coming to you in the area code 775. I cannot wait till next time and to see the questions you have. Oh my God, thank you, Brad. I forgot to keep checking down there. Thank you for watching. Type in your questions, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Bye.
Bye.
Got a couple things I'm shutting off here.
Was that an hour?
Didn't
Was it?
seem like